Hey, we got a new workbench. Let's put it together. Oh, this thing is heavy, dude. Yeah. Alright, hey, what's up, y'all? Today's video is actually sponsored by a company called ENJOYWOOD. They sent me this big old 60-inch workbench here to basically give an honest review of, which is what's gonna happen today. First things first to say is, she is heavy. The ratings for this thing seem to be about 2,000 pounds. For durability, we'll see about that. I don't think I have anything that's over 2,000 pounds, but just from the sturdiness of this thing so far and how heavy this daggone box is, it might be pretty legit. Let's go ahead and dig into unpacking this thing. I'll get it all set up, then we'll look into it more. So first off, we have our little workbench here. You can see that's it right there. It gives us a little shelf, and then it kind of goes through the whole thing and tells you how to put it together and whatnot. So we'll be doing that here in just a bit. That's like real wood and everything, dog. That's legit right there. So far, everything seems to be pretty good. They actually have everything nice and labeled for you. And then it even tells you like what everything stands for here. So like I guess these little like rails here for the drawers. But yeah, so they give you all the pieces, so it seems to be pretty easy so far. Right here in these little boxes, I think these are like the mounting brackets for the shelf, which is for that board over there. And then I think in here we have like the feet, bunch of anchor bolts, just bolts in general to get this thing all together. We have this really cool piece. I'll show you what this does in just a second. We actually have the board itself here. So 60-inch board. It's nice and really smooth. It's pretty durable. It's straight up wood. Like there is no messing around with that. They have the feet here for it. And like I said, there's the shelf, which is also labeled for you. So everything is labeled. Everything seems to be like it's just a tedious process to put it together. But look at this little thing right here. This thing will speak to you. Sorry, I had to. They give you everything you need here. They tell you what's what, all this kind of stuff there, but here's the tools required, which ain't included, which is fine. So let's go ahead and grab these suckers, and ain't nothing to it but to do it. I think we finally run into something that's like a little imperfection with this bench here. We actually just got it adjusted, as you probably saw. You can adjust it with all these different holes here. I put it at the 60-inch on the top because I just think that's like kind of where I'll be working. And it's a nice, like almost like standing desk a little bit. Like here's my waist, and then we have the bench right there. So pretty high up, I like it. I don't have to like bend over much. But like I said, imperfection. So this piece right here is the F4 piece. And you can see we have a little bit of a bend there on it. So hopefully this doesn't do anything bad whenever I'm trying to install it onto these other pieces here. But then we have a little more, couple dents over here as well, like almost like a warp. So just a couple things, probably with shipping or whatever. Let's go ahead and get back on and get this thing together, and I'll let you know if I see anything else wrong. Alright guys, I'm gonna take a quick break here. I gotta go do a marketplace deal real quick, so I need to go shower up and get ready. We'll go ahead and pick this up back tomorrow. See you then. Alright y'all, so the workbench is done. Now the next steps are like installing the shelf here, which I am renting this house, so I unfortunately will not be installing that. However, I will be keeping it as a just in case whenever I move. Again, it's inevitable, right? So I'll just save that for later. But I mean, from besides my own damaging of the table, just with installing all these screws and stuff, I like it a lot. Like the drawer here is really nice. Got like a smooth close here. It's really strong. It's got these little dividers on it and stuff like that, so you have plenty of room on each side. You can put whatever you want. Probably, I might put like some matting in here so I could put some tools down and not be banging them up a little bit. But let's take these off. And basically now I want this workbench here to go and replace that terrible table that I just used for like painting and stuff. Now let's go ahead too. We can plug this thing in a second, but let's get it all situated first, and then we'll plug it in and kind of go into all that. Well, I just saw it said you cannot use an extension cord on this module to plug onto the receptacles here, because as you can see here, we have our 4 receptacles, 125 volts, and the power cable is really not that long. So we're gonna go ahead and move this guy from right where it sits over there, where all my stuff usually is. So we'll get close to this little receptacle here, and then maybe we can interchange the compressor and that workbench there. Plug this thing in here. We get a little light here and we turn it on, just like that. Let's go ahead and plug something in and see how quick this thing is here. Y'all have to excuse me, man. My sinuses are just killing me, dude. Like this pollen season right now, dude, it's jacking me all up. Plug in a little charger. There she goes. She's charging just like that, no problem. Charging just like normal. We got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 receptacles there. We got 4 here. 10 receptacles ready to go for whatever we want to plug into. And I have it all right here by the receptacle, so I can get my compressor on there. That toolbox stays plugged in. And now we got this one. It's actually kind of cool that I put it right here because the sun shines right in this window. So like if I want to do something, I'm gonna grab my stool. I can just come sit right here. And it's right here ready to go. So I like this height. This stool is quite perfect for this instance as well. So it's some work on projects, I can get real close and it'd be right here, so I'm not bending over too much. Definitely makes for a fine addition to the garage. Now that we, like I said, I've gotten rid of this guy, which I just had like kind of sitting over there for the meantime holding some projects down, but we can put that back into storage. And now we have an actual workbench. Little drawers here that have, like I said, a little split here. Right in the middle. You can adjust it if you want to. It's up to your discretion, however you want to use it. I'm actually thinking about putting like a vise right here on it so I can like do some work and come over here and do a little extra. And it makes the garage look a little bit more like a garage. Like I said, we don't have this nasty thing here and we actually have some decentness in here. Well, let's go ahead and use our new workbench as our first little area to do our verse of the day. So today's verse of the day is in Colossians 3:12. I have my phone over here, so I'm just looking it up. But let's go to Colossians 3:12 real quick. It says, "Put on then as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience." Well, first, what does it mean to put these things on? Like it says over here in Colossians. Like I said, my phone's right here, so if I look over, that's what I'm looking at. But what does it mean to put on, to be holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, having compassionate hearts, displaying kindness, humility, meekness, and patience? And so it's really easy to say all of these words and you're like, oh wow, yeah, that's great to do. But what does it mean to do these things? How can you go about your days and actually having a compassionate heart towards someone? How can you have humility in your day? How can you you, oh, look at that one. God's favorite word down there is patience. How can you have that? I can tell you right now, if you ever ask for it, be ready for something to go down, because you're going to be irritated about something all day long, or God's going to give you a situation where you're going to have some sort of humility, whether it be not clapping back at somebody saying something, or like today, right? Like doing some swim training today. I was talking to the instructor. I was like, hey man, I'm struggling on this float. I have all this gear on and I'm not very buoyant. So how can I be more buoyant? How can I float better? It took some humility in me to be like the only guy asking these questions when everybody else is floating just fine. And actually, I didn't make it the first 6 minutes that we did it. And then I sat out, came back, and did it again flawlessly after I listened to some instructions. And so instead of me having this mind where I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna just float, screw whatever he's saying, or whatever, I'm gonna do what works. I had to have some humility and express that, to say, I'm a mediocre swimmer, all right, brother? Like, I'm struggling out here. How can I get help? And so asking that in front of everybody was definitely a challenge to me personally. But like I said, we're getting through it. It is training. I'm not really meant to degrade you like that. So yeah, having humility is asking questions, or maybe just saying, I don't know what to do here. Help me out. Let's just read on in verses 13. So after it says, having kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgive each other as the Lord has forgiven you. So you also must forgive. Look at that. So kind of finishes that entire sentence right there in verse 13 and verse 12. Hopefully I can give you some sort of inspiration from the Lord. Like I said, I'm just the vessel. Don't give me any praise for this. I thought it was a pretty good verse to talk about today, and especially after I had to actually live out some of that humility that we just talked about. So hope you guys can also do the same. Stick close to these verses here, as they will help you not only be a better person in Christ, but also just to help other people say, like, there's something different about that guy. How can I get more like that? And then you could be like, well, here's Jesus, and then here is the word, brother, because everything is in here. Enough on the verse of the day. Let's get back to the video. But alright guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again to ENJOYWOOD for sponsoring this video and sending a guy out this workbench, because it is already pretty daggum cool and I'm excited to be using it. So appreciate you guys real big for that. Make sure you check out the link in the description below. You'll get a little discount. You can get this off Amazon, which is what that link will be. If you want to get a little workbench for yourself, it's really not that expensive. This one right here was kind of pricey from Home Depot. If you're not trying to get something too deep in your pockets, I think this would be a nice alternative, a little something to get you started, whatever the case may be you're looking for. So as always, you can like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. It is your choice. And we'll see you next time. Peace out, guys.